Hello everyone, I am back, and to give you an update, I have what I think is the last mold I need to make for now. So what it is I needed the passenger side of the car. So I went in and, unlike previous times, I fixed some of the stuff on this, got it all smooth, used my typical semi-permanent mold release, wax, and PVA. I took advantage of a mistake I made previously. Remember when I said it did a pre-release when I put it in the sun? Well, after I did this and I got the fiberglass behind the gel coat, I let it cure for several hours, and then I stuck it in the sun. And sure enough, the two of them pretty much released from each other. Now, the challenge, and I have to talk to some fiberglass people to find out what you do, is these edges. Right where the edge is, obviously the gel coat and the fiberglass wants to wrap around the edge. I put tape on it and it helped, but it still wanted to stick. So I need to find out what do you do about that. Anyway, I'll talk to them and find out. But other than that, I had to go around the entire edge of everything and get that to pop loose. But once I got the edges loose, it mostly came off. Now, one area, well, a couple areas are challenged. One was I did not fix, what are the defects? Oh, it's in the front. See that nose area right here? I didn't fix this yet. If you can see any place you see orange, it's stuck for some reason. And then there's some faint orange there. What that is where it alligatored. Now, I think the it alligatored is one, it's been 100 degrees plus here, and the gel coat cures really, really quickly. The other thing is it took several batches, and I usually pre-mix all my batches. I didn't this time. I thought, it's not going to take that many. Well, it did. So what I did was when I got low on the batch, I just said, I'll spread a thin layer on and then I'll add to it later. Well, I think what happened is every place I did that, the next layer that I added attacked the initial layer. So next time or from now on, I'm not going to do that. Even if it means throwing away some gel coat, it's better than having to go in and fix alligatoring. Now, the advantage here is that alligatoring actually sticks up from the surface, which means that the part that I make from this will have raised sections where this alligatoring is. The good thing is, if there is a good thing, that raised sections are easy to sand down. Depressions are hard to fix because you have to add body filler and all that. But raised sections, I'll just put enough gel coat, a thick enough gel coat layer on the part that I make from this mold, and that way all I have to do is when it comes out, sand down the high spots from the alligatoring, and it'll be done. There's a lot more alligatoring than I have gotten in the past ever, but again, I had the weather and my mistake against me. I could try to fix these in the mold, but what I ran into last time is any place I tried to fix in the mold, it tried to stick. And so I want to make sure it doesn't stick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wash off the PVA. That's this green stuff right here. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'm going to wash off the PVA because obviously I don't want to reuse it. But once I wash off the PVA, then I am going to spray the mold release on it, the semi-permanent mold release, and I'll probably lightly wax it. And between those two, this should come out, the part should come out of this really easily. I might do it today, but again, with it being, it's already 100 degrees and it is 2 o'clock. It's supposed to get up to 104. So I wouldn't normally work in the sun, but again, I was trying to get the sun to help me separate these parts. So as soon as I get a chance, I'm gonna move over in the shade. What I did was I went over the center. I tried to get as much of this part as I possibly could and still be able to remove the mold. So I did not do this headlight area because I knew that would cause issues of it binding if I tried to get it out. And then each of these edges, I just went enough around the edge to keep the tip, because these are great locating reference points. What I found out from the other molds that I made is, let's say I would have cut it off right here, all along here. Then when I go to align it with anything else, I don't have a reference point. I mean, there's a curve here, but that's hard to align with. So by having it at least wrap around here, when I go to graft two pieces together, I have a nice reference point. And when I go to measure, I have a nice reference point. I did have a small issue right there. When I make my initial molds, these splash molds, I do it thin on a purpose, because I know I'm pushing how much I can get in one without making a multi-piece mold. And so to get it off, it requires it to be a little bit flexible. So I typically put only 2 layers, 1 or 2 layers of fiberglass mat on there. One layer is 40 thousandths, and then the second layer